Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you are well, and I hope you don't get inundated with too many of these memes about the 4th being with you, but happy May 4th, 2020. Good to be back in touch. Just want to quickly let you know what's up for this week prior to getting together on Wednesday and Friday. So, without further ado, all right, just a couple quick reminders. Third quarter grades, they are finally being submitted this week, so be on the lookout for grade reports for those, as well as the actual third quarter grade. Monday updates. I'm going to go over the details in just a moment, but those of you who, A, did not attend class last week, but more importantly, B, did not complete the work on the characterization and plot, you need to do that. That is a grade for the fourth quarter, so make sure you get that taken care of. Birthdays of the week. We had two at the end of last week we didn't get to. So from 7th period, Aiden Garrison had a birthday either Friday or Saturday, and Nicholas Pham also had a birthday. Coming up a little bit later this week, we've got Nico Marvin having a birthday on the 7th. That's going to be Thursday of this week. And today, May 4th, 2020, is a birthday for none other than my wife, Mrs. Daphne Greenwood. But she does happen to share it with one of our very own. And today, give a shout out to Addiston Gordon. It's his birthday today as well. So you are in great company, Addiston. Weekly expectations. I've got a whole slide for that. I want to talk to you about that. And this week's focus is on point of view, but weekly expectations. I'm going to keep this short, sweet, and simple. You can come back to it and look at it. As I mentioned to those of you who are in class, we're flipping. The focus is on the asynchronous work, the work you do on your own, especially with classes being held later in the week. The instruction is going to happen at the beginning of the week through these videos, the ones I'm recording right now. So your job, every single one of you, no matter when you have class, is not to wait for class to learn what you have to do, but to log on and check in on Monday and say, hey, here's the work I need to do for this week. And it's pretty simple. You're watching this video. You're going to be using the Actively Learn. I'm going to show you what you may remember. You'll log into your Google and you're going to be reading a story and completing questions on that before completing the point of view activity. So Tuesday is basically the day I expect everybody to do that work. Please try and make that your goal and turn it in, because what you're noticing, I'm going back and I'm giving feedback and I'm sending them back to you and saying, hey, you are close. I think here you need to rework this one part. So please revise and resubmit. So essentially, in terms of proficiency, until you've made those changes, I'm not marking it as proficient. I may mark it as turned in, but not proficient. And we're all about proficiency now. Since we're not worried about grades, we get to worry about, are you learning what we want you to? Thursday also, that would be a great day for you to go back and complete that work as well. So then you're all set for the different activities we'll do on Friday and Wednesday. Hope that makes sense. All right, let's see what's next. Okay, I need to get out of this PowerPoint. I'm going to come back to the other. Give me one moment. And I'm going to try and put this. Okay, so as I mentioned, this week is all about point of view, which should be a quick review for you guys. We did it a good bit in the fall, but we're going to take that focus of what you know, not just being able to identify it, but the question is, why did an author choose it for a particular story? So looking at first person, I don't think there's any questions about what it is. So let me go to the reminders of why. When you have first person, you can see all these things, but the main thing is here. We tend to be biased in a very good way. We identify with that character. We know much more about that character than anyone else. The only way we know about the other character's thoughts and feelings are based on what the narrator tells us through their words and actions. We can make those inferences, but again, when you have this kind of narrator, you're going to side with that person. You're going to know more about his or her side of things. So keep that in mind. All right, remember, objective. Real simple. You don't know an outside narrator. You don't know anybody's thoughts or feelings. Why use this? This is the important part. We are judging the characters equally. That's why it's called objective, not subjective. Okay? We're not biased by anyone. We have to judge everyone equally based on everything they say and do. And we can infer all kinds of thoughts and feelings based on what people say and do. But again, we're outside and we don't side with any one character. All right, omniscient. As you know, we're all knowing everybody's words and actions, thoughts, and feelings as well. So the question is, again, similarly, we're judging the characters equally, but most writers do not give equal time to every character. So we're going to know more about the main character's thoughts and feelings. But again, we have to then weigh things as well on this one, and it's a great way so we know what motivates every single person. All right, remember, with limited, we only really know what one person thinks and feels. So we're going to know so much more about that character, especially as it relates to any kind of conflict we're dealing with. Otherwise, we're not going to know about any other character's thoughts and feelings. So we have to focus and be biased on that one character. All right, so we're judging them equally, except for that one. Straightforward? Makes sense? Got it? Get it? Good? Awesome. Hang tight. We're going to keep adding some more stuff here. Just a simple graphic for any of you who still might get even slightly confused. With all of our third-person narrators, they're outside the story. The circle's the story, but these lines indicate we can go into everyone's thoughts. We know what everyone thinks and feels, but we can always just look in and say, hey, here's what they're saying and doing. Our ears work and our eyes work. So the difference then when you slide down, your third person limited, obviously still outside, just a quick one character. We're going to know so much more about that person. And of course, objective, there it is. No links to any characters, no bias any way, anywhere. And of course, first person, they're going to tell, it's all about me if you're telling the story. All right, keep that in mind. After reviewing this video, the first thing you're going to do is then click on the link that's going to take you to the Actively Learn login. Use your Google login. And if for any reason that doesn't work, email me right away, jgreenwood@fcps.edu. Get in touch with me so we can troubleshoot. But everyone was supposed to have used their Google logon. So this is the one where I can start with kind of a pre-reading question and give you notes as you read. And you are only allowed to read up to a question. Go back and think about it. And you're asked multiple choice questions, short answer questions. This is perfect for our distant learning because it's going to really help you read much more actively and be very much more focused on the storyline. As you read, be thinking about the point of view, but that's going to be this next piece of the activity. We have a couple different stories, and the link will take you to the one you're actually going to be reading. All right, that's good for that. Once you are done reading the story, answering the questions through Actively Learn, you're going to then click on Open Up This Point of View Formative. Now, for this first part, real simple. Just show me you know what these points of view are. You got all the notes, no problem there. Please write the story title here since I have a couple different ones out there. All you need to do here is tell what the point of view is and how you know. That's it. Just how you know. You're just going to explain what kind of narrator it is. Here is where you're going to provide evidence from the story to show this. And I'm going to show you a sample of this. We're going to do a quick activity together for this particular part. But the interesting question is really thinking thoughtfully, why did the author choose that point of view? Why that one might have been the best? Why wouldn't some other ones work? So you can take this in a number of different directions. This should not be a two-sentence, but I want you to really think about how does it help the story? Okay, good enough. I'm doing an activity right now, just watching the video, where you're going to be thinking through this as I show you some excerpts, and you're going to identify the point of view and then be able to talk about the evidence. So here's the first sample. I'll just give you a moment to read it. Isn't that beautiful? Let's try this one. Okay, so immediately upon reading that, you say, oh, wait a second. This is definitely not first person because there's no mention of I, me, we, us, anywhere. And it's all she, Sarah, she, her boss. And that's, pay attention to this. When you see her boss and you see Sarah, you're like, oh, wait a second, there's two characters. So don't automatically assume there's one. And since there's two characters, then we look for evidence. Are we seeing their thoughts and feelings? Oh, wait a second. She was bored with her job. We got to be in our head to know that. Oh, she often thought of what it would be like to travel the world. Oh, and for her boss, do we get any thoughts for him? Oh, her boss thought she was lazy. Aha! We got two characters. That's everybody in the story. Oh, it's clearly got to be third person omniscient. And there is your evidence listed right there. So let's practice this. I'm going to let you look at the slide with me first. Read over it and just think about the evidence and what it is. All right, very easily, this one is immediately identified as first person. We have we at the beginning. We have I, and we have I, and we have I, and I. Okay, all the better to see with, right? It's time for some Greenwood puns. Yes. Okay, so we know it's first person, and the character is the narrator is a character in the story, and any one of those would be the evidence to use. I was pretty sad. I heard something. I thought there was no way. That's your evidence. Here's another. Interesting lead to a story. What's this dude doing with a skull in his hand? All right, immediately you look through this and you say, okay, we've got two characters. We have no use of the first person pronoun I, me, but we do have he thought about, and that's referring to Charlie found himself. He thought about the fact, oh yeah, and what about, there's another character, Eric. Oh, Eric was wondering. Bingo, third person, omniscient, in our evidence, any one of those examples. He thought about the fact that he hadn't, and Eric was wondering if his friend was a thief and killer. I'm wondering the same thing too. Next. All right, so this one is kind of an odd portion because they mention one character, but there's really only one character, which is the guard. He's calling out to the inmate, Ezekiel Floyd Dexter, and we get no thoughts. We are not inside anyone's head, so we got to say, hey, it's third person objective. And you just simply say that there is no evidence of internal thoughts, but we know it is third person because it refers to he was holding a large paper bag and no inside thoughts. Very straightforward. I think that's it. All right, folks, so this is it, your work for the week. Have at it. If you have questions, email me. Please don't forget, we have our office hours tomorrow. Go ahead and fill out the form, the Google form that I posted. It would make it really easy for you to do that. So get on it, and I can't wait to see you guys on Wednesday and Friday. Have a great week.